Hello, 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 and welcome to the Youth Netball Premier League review show, which has been a very exciting weekend, hasn't it, Richard?
Oh, God.
But before we carry on with any of that, because we've got Hayden's analysis coming up about, really going to talk about the Starz game, isn't he, really? Quite a bit.
Yeah.
And we're going to talk about, it's going to be a bit different. We're going to preview this week the under-13s, under-14s, and then we're going to the under-15s, and then we'll talk about the under-12s, because we need Hayden to take some stuff apart. But before we do any of that, if you don't mind, Richard, I just got to get something sorted. Because it's becoming more and more frequent, right? You'll join me in this, buddy. Okay, here's the options, yeah? If you want to go to past games, ENG, and then just choose your league. I can't make it any harder than that or any easier than that. And also, if you're on your mobile, hang on, do you know what? I was supposed to have that all set up. There's a thing called a burger menu. Again, I only learned this a few weeks ago, Richard. I'll confess, I'll admit. Okay, it's that thing there. Just, hang on, let me just do it. Just there. It's called a burger menu. Click on that, and everything comes up. You find ENG, because I've already been on there before. You find ENG, click there, and there's all your leagues. And you can watch all your stuff. And Richard, how many days after the live stream is it available?
I believe it's between 7 and 9 days.
Well, 9 days after 9 days, yeah. Don't say 7, because they'll all be harassing me on the Friday.
Well, that was me trying to get it right. So I broadened the days out.
Horizon. But I can't. Come on, people. That's all you got to do. Quite simple. Just there, ENG, Netball, and there it's all there. All for you to look at, the people who have registered their players and want to watch past games. And you've got access to all the leagues over the year. There you go. All what's happened this year. Yeah, exactly. It's so simple. So simple. Right. Now we've got that out of the way, mate. How many people are going to say they didn't see?
We're going to do it back to front state. We're going to kind of look at this weekend, because I find myself saying like the same thing over and over again. But this fixture pile up on Saturday in particular is got to be the best fixture list I think I've ever seen at ENG, in terms of every game has something in it. Every game is going to be competitive, because teams who are in similar positions all playing each other. So it's going to be a really interesting week. I'm gutted I cannot be there for the whole day. I'm doing the Netball Cup, which is just going to be as competitive and fun, to especially after Saturday's event. So Saturday I'm doing the Netball Cup in the afternoon. It's going to be a very busy day. I'm getting my hard hat on for that one, because I've accidentally oversubscribed without realizing I did, and I've done all the fixtures, so I've got more fixtures than I should have done. I've got to start the event earlier, so I'm hoping everyone's going to be nice and just say, "No, it's fine, mate. It's all good." I'm not going to get.
Ain't going to happen, and we ain't going to.
You told us we're starting at this time, and I'm sticking to it. Mate, and I'll be like, "Well, you can get a refund, because I don't mind dropping teams out." So maybe I do want people to get angry about it.
There you go. Yeah.
There you go. So we're going to analyse the under-13s league, look at the under-14s, because that's just going to be as competitive on Sunday. This is the Southern Conference. Then we're going to look at the 15s and how they did on Sunday. And then we're going to look at the under-12s, which was an absolute barnstormer of a day. What an incredible finale to some of those games. It was absolutely edge of your seat stuff. And like I've said a trillion of times before, you actually forget you're watching a bunch of 12-year-olds, because it's that exciting. It's that, like, Sienna sits there and she's trembling, and I get, and it's funny because I look at her, I don't know why she's doing it, because when I used to watch, when I still do, when I watch boxing and I really want someone to win, back in the day it was Ricky Hatton against Floyd Mayweather and stuff like that. I used to tremble before the fight come on, because I felt the anxiety or the anxiousness of the boxer, and I was just getting so into it that I actually started to tremble, like I was about to play a football match or something. And Sienna next to me on the weekend when that Starz Sutton Town game's playing out, she's starting to tremble because she's so immersed in their experience that she's feeling, how nervous and how tense the whole thing is. So there you go. That's what you're doing to us, some people. So yeah, let's look at the under-13s Southern Conference. So if we just quickly look at the table, Martin.
Yeah.
So Sutton Town are top.
Yeah.
Turn for the second. So we suspect these two teams are going to remain in those positions after Saturday, but they've got really tough fixtures, and we've got a sequence of Sutton Town versus Starz.
Hayley says she wanted Sutton to win.
we had well, Sienna did, yeah. I'll ask her, actually. I don't know who she is supporting. She does have her favourites, but I'll ask her who she wanted to win. What was I about to say? So Sutton Town played obviously Starz on Saturday in an absolute barnstormer of a game. The under-15s played Starz, and it was a fantastic game as well. Very close. I think a couple of points in it. The under-13s have Starz this week, and the under-14s have Starz on Sunday.
Oof.
So at the moment, we're at 1-1.
Oh,
we're at 1-1.
Right.
So Sutton Town are starting. I'll tell you what, I don't know who to pick as Sutton Town's rival, because you think, Starz could be their rival, or then you go Ellesmere Port could be their rival. You just don't know. They're just having a tear up with every team they come across. So yeah, Sutton Town top, Turnford second. These two teams will 100% qualify for the grand finals. But then we've got this massive group of teams who can still qualify for the top four. So you've got Ryland, Shan, Starz, Magic. Then below them, you've got the race for the championship finals and obviously relegation. So you've got Aces, Little Sutton, Teambridge, and AP Saints. So if we look at the fixtures. So I did what you said to do, Martin, in regards to our time problem, because there's a cricket thing happening.
Right.
The school have got a training session, and when the schools decide they want to use the hall, they're going to use it. They ain't caring about you. That's for sure. It's our school. We do what we want. Yeah. So yeah, I've had to bring the times forward or back because basically the school need the hall. So AP Saints versus Aces. So a game which will potentially allow AP Saints to come out of the relegation zone. So that's a big game to start us off. Then you've got Magic Teambridge. So Magic need back-to-back wins. Anything but back-to-back wins, and they will not qualify for the top four. They need to win back-to-back games. I think Teambridge's position in the league is it's one of those teams that shouldn't be where they are. They're better than what the table suggests. So if they bring a full squad, then that ain't going to be an easy game for Magic. Then AP Saints, Little Sutton. So again, two teams who could qualify for the championship finals, but also two teams that can get relegated. So a huge back-to-back games for AP Saints. If they win both, they will be guaranteed to be in the league next season. Then you have Teambridge versus Aces, and last time we saw Aces, Martin, they were incredible.
Yep.
So there's no reason why Aces can't get back-to-back wins and fly up the table. Then Magic, Little Sutton. So some very interesting games in the morning, in particular. That apart from Magic, who are trying to chase the top four, it is a proper relegation scrap. The rest of the games there. But then that leads us into the afternoon where I'm going to be crying when I leave, because you've got Turnford Starz.
We'll all be cheering, by the way.
Yeah. Well, no, you're not. Because my brother's replacing me.
Oh.
You're not. So Martin, can you just remind everyone on the day that he's not Richard? Whatever he says, just don't listen.
Do you know what? No, I'm not.
He was saying to me, he goes, I'm bringing my drone. I'm going to fly the drone around the sports hall. I'm like, no, you're not. You're not flying no drone. Please, just put the drone away. So Sutton Town Starz. No, sorry, Turnford Starz, second versus fifth. Don't let the table deceive you. It's a competitive game. Turnford have got a couple of injuries to key players, which doesn't help. So Stars,
Yeah, but
if you're going to play Turnford, this is probably the best time to play him. So Turnford versus Stars. Sutton Town versus Ryland. So you've got a Midlands derby there. Ryland, as we know, have improved dramatically over the past few months. Can they give Sutton Town a run for their money? I think they can. So that'd be a good game. Then you got Shan versus Stars. So I would say this is a bigger game than the Stars versus Turnford, because these two teams, this is do or die, mate.
It is, isn't it?
This is do or die for them. So whoever wins this for me will qualify for the grand finals. So it's a big game. Turnford versus Ryland. So again, Turnford with a couple of injuries. You don't want to be playing, teams like Ryland, decent, strong teams. Again, could be a potential banana skin there, and we've seen a couple of them this season. So I wouldn't be surprised if someone's messaging me saying, or Sienna's messaging me saying, "Oh my God, Dad, Ryland beat Turnford." So probably not in that voice. Then the final game of the day is Shan Sutton Town. Now, don't forget, Shan were the 4th best team in the country last season. So don't let the table fool you. Shan are a top nationally ranked team. Sutton Town are going to need to be. They're going to have to be in their A game. You know what Shan are going to bring. They've got Colin there, who's going to be non-stop talking. We know that's going to happen, and I think teams have to just understand that isn't going to change. And I ain't doing nothing about it, because I can't stop people from talking.
No,
and I can't dictate how loud or how soft their voice, because once I start dictating to someone, the only person who can dictate to Colin or any other coach, because there's not just Colin, there's many coaches who scream and shout throughout the thing, is the umpire. So if the umpire says, right, can you just calm down so the kids can hear what I'm saying?
And the umpire did do that to Colin, by the way.
Yeah, they did, yeah. So, but I'm not going to do that.
About the ball.
But like I say to the umpires, if you feel at any point you need to say something or do something to either calm the game down or to create an environment where you can officiate to the highest standard, then do it. But I'm not going to jump into your world and try and dictate this, that, and the other. You do it, and I'll 100% back you the whole way.
Yeah.
That's not a problem. But,
sort of thing. Yeah.
Yeah. So Sutton Town know what's coming. It's going to be loud, it's going to be competitive, and it's going to be a barnstorm of a game. And these big games just keep coming for Sutton Town. So
Hayley going to be there.
Who?
Hayley.
I believe so. Yeah, I believe so.
Because I was a bit, upset with the Colin versus Izzy this weekend.
I know it didn't play out, did it, mine?
It didn't play out. I honestly, there was a bit where I actually went up and said to Izzy, I didn't get time to say to Colin actually. But I was saying to Izzy, like, there was a bit, right? So we take either a left or right audio. Sometimes we just leave on the left. Sometimes we just leave on the, it all depends. Yeah, what's going on, what sounds are being made, who's talking. Hayden know all about that. And oh no, we don't use a phone camera. Anyway, so I literally took it for the left, and you can hear Colin giving out, instructions of what to do. So I went, oh, we'll go to the right one, and then you can hear Izzy giving out, and I was like, left, right, and then I went, oh, I'm just going to merge it together so that it literally, if anybody's trying to like text Colin or text Izzy, like they're going to do this, they're going to do that, and they're doing this, it'd be like, you can try and by the time you deciphered what was being said, it's the next quarter.
Well, it's funny. I think Izzy and Colin are just a bit too clever for us, because we all kind of just get all excited about how loud it's going to get and how aggressive I love their style of coaching. That's my cup of tea.
Yeah, but the thing was, when it came to the game, when they were playing in the quarter, they just went quiet.
It was the competition and who can remain the calmest and quietest, I think.
You know what? I think it was. No, we'll let them be louder. Yeah, I bet it was that.
Yeah, they sport our fun.
Yeah, exactly.
So what we potentially could see here is potentially Sutton Town or Turnford losing their unbeaten records. I think Turnford genuinely. I think there is Stars will be a tough game for them. Sutton Town Shan, I think potentially that's a banana skin right there. It's not even a banana skin. That's a tough game for both teams.
Definitely.
And Sutton Town are going to have to play extremely well, and so is Shan. So we could see the top two lose their first games of the season, but at the same time, we could just see the top two win both their games, and it will be a Sutton Town Turnford finale to the season. But for me, the most interesting part of this, the most interesting part is Ryland, Shan, Starz, and Magic. Now, bear with me here. Magic, if they win 2 games, they will end. I believe they'll end the day in 4th at least. They have 10 points. Okay. Shan can afford to. So let's just say the table is telling us who's going to win. So just say, for instance, Shan win 1 and lose 1. They have 10 points. Just say, for example, see, this is why it's important for Starz, because Starz have 2 really tough games. They have Turnford and they have Shan. I don't think they can afford to kind of lose both of them. But even if they did lose both of them, I still think they may have a chance, because it might end up, say, Sutton Town, Turnford, Shan, Magic. But then going into the final game of the season, Starz play Magic. You with me, Mark?
Yeah.
And then Ryland have aces. So if, just say, for instance, Starz and Ryland lose both games, they still have 8 points. And both of their final games of the season are very winnable games. If Ryland win and Starz win, it'll be Ryland that qualify and Magic that go out. If Ryland win and Magic win, then it will be Magic that go through. But if Starz beat Magic and Ryland win, which we expect them to because they're playing a team lower than the table, it may be Ryland that's secure. So I don't think Starz can afford to lose 2 games here. They need to go into the final round with 10 points, not 8 points, because their goal difference is not that great.
Right.
So it's the goal difference that is killing them.
Right.
So they can't. But even if they go into the final game of the season with 10 points and they lose to Magic, they'll still be superseded by Ryland if Ryland win, because they got a better goal difference.
Well, those goal differences are coming in, man.
So there you go. That's how it's playing out. Then if you look at the bottom of the table, I think it'll stay the same. I think it'll be Aces, Little Sutton, Teambridge, and AP Saints. I think Aces have improved dramatically, and I do think they might get back-to-back wins here this week. And yeah, I think how the 7th to 10th is, I think that's how it's going to end. But I don't mind being proven wrong. So AP Saints, Teambridge in particular, go out there, prove me wrong, and make me look silly, if that's possible, compared to how silly I make myself anyway. Okay, so that is what we're looking forward to on the under 13s front. Let's move to the under 14s.
Right, okay, let's do that. Let me move that over there. Move that to there. There we go. Under 14s. Do you want to see the table?
Yeah, put the table up. Yeah, that'd be cool.
Yeah.
Maybe go to the fixtures and just do and put the table to the side of what you're doing.
I'm doing it now. I was trying to do it without you knowing. There we go. Under 14 South. I'll bring that across. I kind of like this way, mate. It's pretty cool, isn't it?
Yeah.
There we go. Let me move this down. There we go. Beat me to it. I was trying to do it without even saying it. There you go. There we go. There's
okay. So So Magic versus Southend Sapphires, Magic versus Essex Open. Magic wanted back-to-back games, and they've got it. Important for Magic because they potentially could end up on 9 points.
Yeah. Well,
which gives them hope of a top 4 place.
There we go. Yep.
There we go. But also equally as important for Essex Open to get 2 wins. I think Essex, if they get 2 wins here, they should be okay for the grand finals. But that Magic Essex Open game, that's a really interesting encounter between these 2 teams. You've got like kind of the slickness of Magic, and you've got the raw, aggressive, competitive Essex Open. You know what I mean? It's two different styles going against each other. Then Sutton Town, Southend Sapphires, Essex Open, Turnford, then Starz, Sutton Town is our big game at 1 o'clock. Let's not forget this Starz team have won back-to-back titles. They still have a kind of an outside chance of winning the league. I know it seems quite unrealistic to say that, but they still can do it. But at the same time, you want to come as high as possible. You do not want to be coming third and playing second from the north. You want to be coming at least second and playing third. So Starz need to make sure they improve their performances in this one. And unfortunately, I think Sutton Town are probably going to get the best version of Starz on Sunday. Then we've got Shan, MK Dons. So in the race for the top four, that's second versus sixth. We have Starz versus Turnford. Then Shan versus AP Saints. MK Dons versus Conquerors Martin, which I think is probably the game of the day. Oh, no, they're probably the second game of the day.
I'll go with the second, yeah.
So that game's going to be an interesting encounter between two good quality teams. And then finally, you got AP Saints, which again, when you look at AP Saints, they're massively underachieving for me. They've got a good team here, just not getting the results. So AP Saints Conquerors, and then AP Saints are playing Shan. So at least one win there for AP Saints will take him, I think, out the top, out the bottom two at least. But if we look at the narratives that could play out here, we have.
This is the best bit. This is the best bit.
So Sutton Town, they're gonna win the one. They will win against Southend Sapphires, and that's not me being harsh on Southend Sapphires. But against Starz, so they have 14 points against Starz. Just say, for instance, Starz were to win back-to-back games, right. Starz would have 12 points. Yeah. So Sutton Town 14-12, and Starz will have 12 at the end of the day. If MK Dons can win both games, they will have 13 points.
Okay.
So it could. So Sutton Town could have 14, MK Dons 13, and Starz 12.
Yeah.
And then at the last game of the season, Starz have Shan, and MK Dons have Southend Sapphires, and Sutton Town have Essex Open. We talked about if it means it's just say, for instance, MK Dons win. They will go top very briefly for a couple of hours, and then Sutton Town will be forced to beat Essex Open, which isn't going to be an easy thing to do.
Do you know what? Yeah, Sutton Town needs to do their work this weekend, get it over and done with.
But if they win both games this weekend, it's done. It's over.
Yeah.
They don't. They're going to be champions.
Sutton Town. If I was Sutton Town, coach, I would not be looking forward to the Essex Open game if the league was running on it. You know what I mean? If that was what I need to win. So this weekend, get it done, get it dusted. You know what I mean? Play your B team on April 28th if you want to rest them. But you know what I mean? Actually, no, because it all depends on what happens with MK Dons, Starz, and So
well, I think the top three is going to be Sutton Town, MK Dons, and Starz based on who they're playing at the back end of this season. I think the fourth place is going to be between Essex Open, Conquerors, Shan, and Magic. But genuinely, I think Essex Open and Conquerors are the ones who will. One of those two teams are going to have to drop out, I'm afraid. If Conquerors just had a full strength team at the start of the season, they could be sitting easily in second or third place in the table. That's unfortunate for them. But
look at those points: 9, 8, 7, 6, 6, 5, 4, 3. I mean, that's pretty outstanding, isn't it? To be fair,
well, Essex Open can't afford to go into that Sutton Town game needing a win.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
That's not something they should. Conquerors have Magic at the back, so Conquerors have Magic. So if Magic get it's a bit of a mess, to be honest. But
well, look,
we will be very clear on outcomes after this weekend. But again, like the under-13s league, some really cool competitive games going to be played out. Loving the leagues this season. The entertainment value this season has just gone up a notch even more. And so this weekend, huge round of fixtures for a lot of teams. And obviously we've got our under-12s Netball Cup on Saturday, which will finalise all the teams for the Nationals, and we'll be doing the draw next Tuesday for that.
Kind of looking at for that as well. Oh, for the under-12s Netball Cup. Just don't have enough staff.
No.
And equipment.
Okay. Let's look at the under-15s Southern Conference from Sunday.
Ooh. Yeah.
So potentially the title is over. Potentially, which is it may not be, but it looks likely. It all depends on if Ryland can run up some good scores in their games they've missed. That's
the thing, isn't it? Still got the games to play out, which is a great twist, if you ask me. It's a lovely twist, really.
If we can get them on, no one seems to be much of a hurry to play them. So Royals Sutton Town 32-12 to Royals. AP Saints Teambridge 35-26. Sutton Town versus Starz. Very impressive Sutton Town in this game. 27-23. They must have just been angry about the under-12s result. Royals versus Teambridge, very easy, convincing. I haven't seen too many of these this season, but when you do see them, it's a hard watch. The team I was impressed with the most this week was on Sunday was Team Beds. They just came and were like, if every team had the support network of Team Beds, a lot of teams' performances would go up massively. They love it. The spectators are fully behind the girls. The girls played with a level of kind of competitiveness and aggression that everyone, the bare minimum, should always bring to a game. Yeah. But equally, some of the passing, some of the feeds into the shooters, and some of the shot, it was just brilliant to watch. And the highlights have gone up on social media and stuff. So make sure you check it out, because some of the passes on Team Beds, they were spinning the ball. It looked like they had like a spin on it, and it was curving around defenders. It was absolutely brilliant. Little Sutton Stars 31-40 to Stars. Little Sutton, I was hopeful they could get a couple of wins here, but a few players were missing, so that kind of stopped them from being as competitive. Then Shan versus Magic 37-25. This was a good win for Magic, because this was Shan's best team, and we haven't seen their best team all season yet. So a very convincing win, which shows how far Magic have come. Ryland Team Beds, Ryland 36-26. Believe it or not, Team Beds were winning all the way up to the final quarter.
I was going to say, it was the final quarter, wasn't it? And then all of a sudden, Ryland just seemed to, I don't know, it was like, right, everybody, you do this, you do that, and then that was it. Bum, 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 bum. It was mad.
It's like one of those ones, isn't it? Honestly, it was close.
Yeah. Again, you can check it out, FBLstreamslive.com. You know what I mean? Literally, that game last quarter, it was because Team Beds weren't Team Beds leading
by 6 points at one point.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I remember saying to you, it's Team Beds is winning.
Yeah, they have improved dramatically, and do you know what? I love the coaches. The coaches were so enthusiastic. They were just pummeling out information to the girls. You had some good characters in the Team Beds team who you got those kind of feisty players who just take no rubbish off anyone, and then you have those skillful ones. Do you know what? And it was the attitude of if you're gonna beat us, you're gonna beat us. It's gonna be hard. We're gonna make it hard for you. And again, that should just be the bare minimum for every team. And if every team had that attitude, then most games would be absolutely brilliant. Shan, then Little Sutton 30-20 to Shan. So that kind of takes them out. There is no relegation zone in this league, but that puts them into a national final position, which is would be a good result for them after the season they had. To get stuck into a national final will be quite cool. Then Magic Ryland. I believe it was a draw all the way up to the fourth quarter. And then Magic, I think the experience they had in the under-16s Netball Cup, the maturity now they're showing, they kind of are different. They've got that steely attitude. They know how to kind of run the risk of losing games, but get the wins now, which is really cool to see. So well done to Magic.
Personally, I think they've learned how to do their spells properly. That's what I'm saying.
There you go. There you go. But if we look at the table, Royals are out in front by 6 points. Goal difference has dramatically changed, but Ryland do have 2 games in hand. I do honestly believe Ryland will get enough goals to make the last game of the season a spectacle, but they're going to have to win those 2 games in hand, but they're going to have to win them convincingly as well. Magic, they're done. It looks precarious, but they have Sutton Town at the end of the season. No offense to Sutton Town, but Magic are just a different level at the moment. So I think Magic will get the win there. So Magic, I believe you are 3rd place in the table. You've got yourself a medal after 4 years of hard work. Well done. AP Saints, 4th. Stars have 2 games in hand. One of those games in hand is against Ryland. If the form book goes the way we think, Stars will go into the last game of the season probably needing 20 to 30 goals plus.
Right.
Or 50, maybe 50. If they can go into it with 15 to 20 goals, then maybe, just maybe. And if AP Saints, because word on the street is that AP Saints are going to have to borrow a lot of under 14s for that last game of the season. They've got AP Saints, sorry. So it could be a demolition job there. So if they can go into that game 15 to 20 points, looking to catch up, and AP Saints then have a half-baked team, that will be interesting, Martin.
That will. But
let's not. I've put down that Team Beds have played 8, but they haven't. So Team Beds have 2 games in hand. So based on the performances we've seen, there's no reason why they can't mount a little charge towards the top 4. Then Sutton Town obviously have 2 games in hand as well. Shan, Teambridge, and then Little Sutton. There you go. So that's the under 15s. But I do believe the top
Royals game is going to be good.
I do believe the top 4 will probably be the top 4, but it all depends on how Stars get on against Team Beds and Ryland. That if they were to get 2 wins there, then I believe Stars will go on and probably get into the top 4.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah. So Stars have Teambridge at the end of the season. So I think AP Saints, I think you've just about scraped it, but you're going to have to look with your hands over your eyes a little bit.
Do you reckon it's going to be a bit like that? It is going to be like that, isn't it? You can see that just panning out. Oh, all for the last game of the season.
Okay, so we're going to build in now to Hayden, because let's go through the scores and stuff, and then we're going to probably get Hayden's opinion on the mathematics of the final games of the season.
For under
12s, yeah.
Yeah, under 12s. There we go.
So Watson, Aces, 29-14 to Watson. Well done. Aces, big improvement. Well done. Paul, AP Saints, really good performance from Paul. What a difference having Haley on the bench again. Different team. Completely different team. Watson Park, Hatfield. Hatfield, initially, I don't know if you remember, Martin, they were like winning. And everyone's thinking, whoa, what's going on here? Then Hatfield, up until half time, they had kind of Watson Park on the ropes a little bit. And Hatfield are in our under 12s Netball Cup this Saturday. So I think shorter games, you're going to see a kind of, I think you might see a top 4 position here for Hatfield on Saturday.
Right, okay.
Aces Swan, 2 teams that hadn't won, and Aces got the win, 17-15. So that took them out of the relegation zone. Then we had AP Saints Shan, another good game. AP Saints, good performance to be fair, against a really good Shan team. Really pegged them back for large periods of the game. Last quarter though is always the defining one, and Shan moved ahead. But AP Saints did make it a really good game, so well done to them, and big improvement as well as a team. Paul Hatfield, after Hatfield kind of shocked Watson a little bit, Paul were probably thinking, what's going to happen here? But I think Paul showed how good they are as a team and got a really good win. Swan Stars, so convincing here win there for Stars. Shan Turnford, great game again, very close game up until the final quarter. The Turnford girls in the interview said the coaches were too loud. They put us off. Unfortunately, we can't use that as an excuse. Unfortunately,
no, not allowed.
It's one of the best quotes I've ever heard in my life. Rich Dad, Poor Dad book. Blame the roots, not the fruits.
Oh, okay.
There you go.
Yeah.
Always look within before you look without. Stars, Sutton Town. Oh my God, I'm so sorry to Stars. I've actually put it the wrong way around.
I'm about to say it. Hang on. I'm
going to change that now just for the sake of people messaging me.
Oh, mate.
But Martin, what a game of netball, mate.
Oh, yeah. Do you think, mate?
So, well, Stars had Sutton Town on the ropes for the first two quarters. Stars were a better team. The third quarter, Sutton Town started to show started to kind of get in front, and they were 4 points ahead going into the final quarter. No offense to Stars, but I thought, that's you done. You're over. It's capiche. See you later. Thanks for trying all that. But whether it was tactical changes or
that's what I love about the Rolling Clubs. They get to do those tactical changes.
Yes, what I'm saying. Yeah. So,
how many times did you say that this weekend?
I've said already. Like, Mel is one of the most cleverest coaches you're gonna find, and she doesn't miss a trick. She will see any flaws in your game, like literally, and she will make good decisions to combat and to execute any flaws your team have. And last quarter, it just the momentum just started to change rapidly, didn't it? And with 5 seconds to go, now when you hear that 5-4-3-2-1 and you're drawing, now we do 5-4-3-2-1 because we do want to dramatize the last 5 seconds, and it actually helps with teams making good decisions.
Yeah,
attacking teams make good decisions. What I don't see is defending teams making good decisions. I think at that point, the ball's in the middle of the court. Just, I don't want to say it, but just foul. Drain that clock.
Say that, right?
I don't know. Just do something, because you can't allow the ball to travel into the end zone with 5 seconds to go. Just slap the ball away. The time would run out. It's over. And I think defensively, when you hear that 5-4-3-2-1, especially if the ball's in the midcourt, you need to stop that ball traveling. Just stop it traveling. But the Stars shooter,
what ball? Don't know what you're talking about.
Nerves of steel. Nothing but net. And the celebrations were just incredible. And I think Hayden's he's got some footage that we'll get to relive that. But then straight after that, Sutton Town played Turnford. Sutton Town went 6-0 up, and I thought, right, good bounce back. I thought it was a great bounce back. But Turnford, who like many teams in this league, have improved rapidly over the last few months. The league has given them a perspective on where they need to be at very quickly. And what a win from them. It wasn't the dramatic ending like the Stars one, but equally as tense and as exciting as the Stars one. So well done to Sutton Town for the win there, which kind of ends, if you look at the table, it does end Sutton Town's chance to win the league. Hayley, to be fair to her, said that I didn't expect to win the league anyway. So, it was good. It was good to have that opportunity, but at the same time, my expectation was just top four. So They can't win the league. Stars can, but they can't, if you know what I mean. I'm sorry, but Watson won't get beat by 1 million points. And
no, they won't. They won't.
Hang
on. Do you want to come on, Hayden? Shall we let him on?
Yeah, go on.
Go on. What?
So Hayden, let me just let everyone know what could play out here. So Stars can't win the league because Watson won't get pummeled by Sutton Town.
We say, but they can't finish third either.
They can't. They're going to be second. But Stars, in my opinion, won't pummel Paul because they're too good to be pummeled, right?
Yeah.
So Stars are going to be runners up. Watson will be champions, regardless of what happens with them in Sutton Town. They will be champions. But the interesting, the interesting part of this is we could actually see Sutton Town go from title challengers to dropping out the top 4. But let me just quickly go through the narratives, and Hayden can give me his opinion on whether these narratives will play out. So if Sutton Town lose to Watson, they will have 11 points, right?
Yeah.
I believe Turnford will beat AP Saints based on the performance levels they put in the last round. So for me, Turnford are going to...
Yeah, that's not 100%, but I agree with you, yeah.
Yeah, so Turnford, it's not, yeah, you're right. I believe Turnford will be third with 12 points. Now, if Sutton Town lose and Shan win, they will sorry, Paul, I don't want to leave you out. Paul have to beat Stars in order to qualify for the grand finals. They have to beat them. If Paul win, then they will qualify for the grand finals. If Paul lose, they cannot qualify. If Shan win, which we expect them to, because they're playing aces.
Hold up a second. If Paul win, but Sutton Town beat Watson Park, then Paul will not qualify for the grand finals. They need two. They need two, not just one.
Oh wow, Paul! Hayden's just made your job 10 times harder.
No, not 10 times harder, but yeah.
So Paul win.
Yeah.
And Watson win, Paul go up.
Yeah.
If Watson lose and Paul win, Paul do not qualify.
Yes, correct.
If Paul lose and Shan win, if Paul lose and Sutton Town lose and Shan win, Shan need to make sure they're going to have to score at least 30 plus.
That's not going to happen
against aces, and they're going to have to hold Sutton Town lose by 15 to 20. Is it possible, Hayden?
It's not possible.
No such thing as never, mate. I disagree.
51 points. 51 goals, sorry.
Yeah, so they got to win. They're not good. They can't beat. Like aces is not. It's a pretty good team. They're gonna hold themselves together, and they want to get into that championship finals as well, right?
Yeah, but it's going to be difficult for aces to get into that because Hatfield will play Swan at the end of the season.
Okay.
So, but let's talk about Swan quickly. If Swan were to beat Hatfield by 7 goals it's 6 goals or more, they will jump out the relegation zone if aces lose to Shan, and then aces and Hatfield get relegated.
Whoa, that's a bit of a...
So the final game of the season, Swan will be like, you know what? We're swanning in the last game. We win, and we're going to a national final. Happy days.
There'll be some celebration going there. Oh.
So there you go. So who's your top 4, Hayden?
So, like the scenario analysis, because sometimes you do it like the other ones, you've done it like before the last round. When there's 2 rounds to go, it's not really so interesting because there's a lot that can happen, right? But when you get to the last round, it's very clear. Okay, so you've got Watson Park. They're pretty much locked into the number 1 spot. You've got, they are. Stars are like 99.9% locked into the number 2 spot.
Tahir says happy days.
So both those teams, and especially Stars, like in this under 12s, like it's a loaded age group. So whether it be the North or the South, a lot of close games, like you can see by your league table there, you've got 6 teams that could theoretically like make the top 4 heading into the last day. Like in the Premier League in football, you don't really get that, right? So so Watson, the thing is, a lot of these, you know, they come to the games with 10 or 12 players, and if the games are close, maybe the coaches, they would like to use their bench players more, but they don't get that opportunity. So for sure, on the last day of the season, Watson Park and Starz are going to be using their benches more, which can often be a good thing because
I disagree. I think Watson would want to win this league without losing a game.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. That's what I think. I could be wrong.
But they can use their bench players and still win. So I would still expect Watson to win. I don't think Watson probably haven't lost a game all season in any competition.
No.
Right. So you've got Haley now. So Starz, we know they're going to finish second. They don't really have anything to play for. We'll get to the clips, but I think the MVP might be locked up for the Starz goal attack, Leela, based on what she's done in this round, and and in your tournament as well, like doing some, hitting some amazing.
Oh,
shots.
there's a few candidates there. There's a few candidates.
Okay, well, I know you have your favourites, and I have my favourites as well. So basically, you've got Haley, probably the best coach in youth netball in this country. Youth netball being different from adult netball, right? So we've had great coaches in the league, Sam Bird, Lauren Palmer, etc. But I think Haley's the one. If you look at, what she does in an area like pool, where I think swimming is probably like the biggest sport, to have the under-16 team, national powerhouse, under-12s and the under-10s are coming. And the way she plays, those pool girls are going to be fired up. They're going to be 100%.
Can I throw a spanner in the works there?
Yeah.
She won't be there last game of the season.
Oh, no.
That's a problem. Unless she gets a video of, like, if she has the phone on the bench with her watching, because she's at the under-16s nationals that weekend, Hayden.
So yeah.
That's a big problem. Big problem.
That's a big problem.
That could cost them dearly, actually.
But yeah, under-16 nationals, you got Turnford and Paul.
Look, Haley, here's a shout out to Haley. Haley, depending on who you're playing in the under-16s nationals, if they're guaranteed wins, maybe just come and help the under-12s out.
Yeah, it's on a Saturday, right? It's a 2-day event, yeah. So
if you're playing teams you're going to win, because we're not silly, we all know at an under-16s level who's really going to beat each other. Just come and help the 12s out. The Diamonds will be okay. Like, get Sasha to run the team. She's fine.
Yeah. So yeah, I would say.
Let us know, Hayden.
Richard, one thing I say as well about this, like when we went to your nationals last year, like some of the teams that finished fourth, they kind of sneaked in and then they, like, first round kind of got lost quite easily. But if you look at the depths of the quality in this under-12s division, you've got a team like Shan probably aren't going to be there, right? You've got a team like, Paul, probably going to be in that 5th or 6th spot, and potentially even at Sutton Town, if Paul can, pull the upset on, Paul can pull the upset against Starz, not in there. So you've got real depth in that 5, 6, and 7 spot.
And when you look at, say, Watson, you think to yourself, you potentially are going to be playing Bury. Like, what a horrible game to play. Like, your quarter-final game is against Bury.
I think there's tiers, right? So we've got tiers in this under-12 age group nationally. So I think Kingsway at the top, they're in their own tier. And then Oldham was kind of...
Hayden. Stop talking about Kingsway Power. Let's focus on the Youth Netball Premier League. Come on. Stop. Get over it. Let's focus on the teams in the league.
So then Oldham was clearly in that number 2 spot. What we've seen from your tournaments recently is we've seen sort of Leeds and Rivington close the gap on Oldham, right? I think that's fair to say. And then I think Watson Park as well, you have to put them in that tier with Rivington, Leeds and Oldham, with Oldham being at the top of that sort of second tier. And then the 3rd tier, based on... See, Sutton Town, they've been as unlucky as you could possibly be, because with 5 points difference... they could be sat unbeaten now on 8 out of 8 wins, because the 2 games they've lost is by a single point and they've drawn 1. So literally 5 more points and they could be sat there unbeaten.
Yeah.
But because of losing like the 2 games they lost by a single point, they could potentially not make the finals. So basically you've got 3 games here, right? You've got Watson Park against Sutton Town, right? If Sutton Town wins, that would be an upset. You've got Pool against Starz. If Pool win, that would be an upset. And then you've got AP Saints against Turnford. And if AP Saints win, that would be an upset.
Turnford girls were kind of saying AP Saints had good performance levels at the weekend, and the Turnford girls are quite sure of themselves that that's going to be in it. So do you think AP Saints, do you reckon they can get a little shock win there?
They could. So if you were to ask me out of the three, which is the most likely upset, I would say Pool, because I just think they're going to be fired up. They're kind of. I don't think Pool would really expect to be in this situation to begin with. So they're going to play with no fear. Whereas I think Sutton Town are probably in a situation that they didn't think they were going to be in. So that can sometimes just affect your performance negatively. And then we'll get to some clips, when we start looking at this fourth quarter of this Sutton Town against Starz game. But I think
you're saying, and just in case Colin's listening, that's why I'm going to ask this question. You're saying Shan cannot do it in terms of getting the goals needed?
51, no, I think it's too much. Because basically they would have to beat they would have to win by 40, right? And then Sutton lose by more than 10 points. Shan haven't scored 40 points this season.
But don't forget, Watson beat Starz by over 20 points. Am I right in saying that? Hold on.
I'll tell you what, if Watson turn up with their full team, mate,
but then even if they win by 20, then Shan still have to win by 31. That's still a lot. That's a lot.
Yeah, so Watson did beat Starz by 20 points.
But then Shan would still have to win by 31, which means Shan would have to score more than 40 points. And then the thing is, to score over 40 points in a 36-minute game, what you need to do is get stops, which I have confidence that Shan could get stops. But then what you need to do is move the ball up the court really quickly and score. So, Richard, what's the best method for moving the ball up the court really quickly and scoring? What type of passing?
Shoulder pass.
what type of passing?
Overhead, mate.
Right, and do Shan throw those kind of passes?
I think they do now, mate. They do now.
I have seen a few more, but yeah. So
no. I think on the last game of the season, the persistence in certain passes is going to be out the window. They're going to go to the Hayden pass, and it's just going to be right. Let's just do it.
Leading up to this round of games. Yeah, those team players are going to be working really hard and learning everything. It's going to be everything, isn't it? Anything and everything.
Well, the training has to be specific to the games they're playing. Like Hayden said, Shan have to generally just work on how they're going to move that ball as quickly as possible up the court to maximise the amount of goals they could score. As simple as that.
The only thing I can think for Sutton Town though is if Woodson have got it. So the point is, they might fund a bench team, so they might actually shoot up. So that's the thing there for Sutton Town.
Yeah,
but for Shan,
but we don't know what team Starz is going to bring because they're locked into second. There's girls sat on that bench. They've had a lot of close games, and those girls on the bench for Starz, they might come in for 5 minutes, they might come in for a quarter, and you see when they score that shot, hit that shot at the end of the game, how happy they all were. Yeah. So you reward those girls, with playing time, right? Because you give them this opportunity that it's a team sport. If England qualify for the World Cup and there's a game left, you see a lot of players starting that Harry Kane and all, they'll all be sat on the bench, right? So we don't know what kind of team Starz will be. Maybe Leela, maybe she'll play half a game, might be 3/4 of a game. It might be not at all. She might just be sat on the bench cheering her friends on for the game. So, it is a team sport. And at times you do need all 12 players to win. So if you have an opportunity where you're kind of locked into a number 2 spot and you can give those girls that have come to all the rounds, and maybe as a coach, they haven't had as much court time as you would like to give them, that's a good time to reward those players, and oftentimes it can actually help because when those girls come out and play, they're looking to show Melissa, listen, when you go to the grand finals, don't be afraid to put me in the game. If you put me in the game, I can do a job for you for 15 minutes, for half a game, etc. So, out of the 3, I would say Pool beating Starz is the most likely compared to Sutton Town beating Watson Park or AP Saints beating Town.
Okay, well, before we move on to because Hayden's going to review basically what happened in that last quarter. But before we move on to that, very quickly, Hayden, if I go through the potential outcomes in terms of the grand finals, just quickly tell me who's going to win the games. Yeah?
Okay, yeah.
So Watson potentially against Bury. Who wins that quarterfinal game?
It'll be Elton Porterbury, Watson.
Okay, so I'm going to base it on who's in there at the moment.
I would actually say the fourth team. Can I just say, we typically talk about the North being stronger than the South in netball. I would say the depth, if you look at those 4, 5, 6, 7 spots, I think they're stronger in the South than in the North. So I would actually take the 4th place team in the South over the 4th place team in the North, which I don't normally say that. Maybe never.
So you believe Watson to beat Bury?
Yeah, or Ellesmere Port. Don't discount Ellesmere Port. They've got to play.
No. I'm just basing it on who's in there at the moment.
Okay.
Starz and Leeds Athletic.
Leeds.
Good game.
Leeds.
Very good game.
Right, he's going Leeds. That's a very good game, isn't it? That's a ticket seller.
Yeah.
Sutton Town, and just, I know you're not going to agree with me here, Hayden, but I'm basing it on what the table says. Sutton Town, Rivington.
Rivington.
And then Turnford, Oldham. I know you're going to say it. So you think 3 of the northern teams will beat? Will. Oh, there you go. Then you've heard it here first.
Oh, Northern Star.
Right,
okay.
Hayden. Hayden's now going to talk about the final quarter of the Starz game, one of the best games of the season. 4 points up, Sutton Town were going into the final 9 minutes. Hayden, what happened?
Okay, before I do that, quick shout out to East Hertfordshire, because we've got some very good teams there. 4 of them in one age group. So let me get my pen out. So we've got Turnford. Okay, hang on. Let me get this here. Right, we've got Turnford, which is...
We're doing a geography lesson now. Excellent.
Yeah, geography lesson. So we've got Turnford, there. We've got Watson Park, there. We've got Hatfield, there. And we've got Hearts Hornets, who did very well in your tournament, there. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Now you put that out.
Where are Swan from? Are they from Essex?
Swan, they might be close as well. Yeah, I don't think they're too far away either.
I thought they were. That region.
So, but shout out to East Hertfordshire. 4 teams that are performing. Watson, top team. Turnford, we've seen what they're doing. Hatfield played very well against Watson in the last round. You know, normally when we talk about like 4 teams that strong being together, we talk about like Manchester, right? Hertfordshire doesn't have the population that Manchester does, and they have 4 elite teams in this age group. So, you know, congratulations to that region for just producing so many quality players, you know, particularly in this age group, but in other age groups as well. So just wanted to begin with that.
There you go. If you're in charge of East Hertfordshire's netball development, there you go.
Absolutely loaded, yeah. Right, okay, so I only watched the last quarter. 4-point lead heading into the last quarter, and the last quarter it started well for Sutton Town. So we'll just get here. So nice interception here by the Sutton Town goalkeeper.
I couldn't get the names. I was wasted. I've been on the computer all day and I couldn't be bothered. I'm sorry.
So nice shot there. Okay, and then Sutton Town up 5, and then here just the technical point we're going to see it a couple of times with Rosie. So just off the centre pass here. Right, if we just look at her feet here a little bit and just what direction they're pointing in. So normally, like, you want to get your feet nice and square and pointing towards the post, right? So whether you're throwing a shoulder pass or an overhead pass or whatever, but it's the threat of the long pass that will make the defender sink back. And then if you want to throw it horizontally, because the defenders have sort of moved backwards, like you've got more space to throw the ball horizontally if you want to reset it. But you see her feet here, she's just got a little bit lazy with her feet. So now, like, she hasn't really got a strong base to throw the ball from. But obviously we know Rosie's got very strong upper body, very strong pass. She throws a shoulder pass. So she can get that pass off just using her shoulder muscles and that. But you see the feet there, Richard?
Yeah.
Yeah. So this time it works out okay. But right, we've got some other examples coming later. So yeah, just that part. Not entirely happy with Rosie's feet here. Just relying on her arm to throw that ball. But they do sort of bring it through the court and just speed it up a little bit. Oh, and then we see a change here from. So if we look at the top right of the screen here, so we've got Leela and we've got the star shooter. Not quite sure of her name, but if you see here, we just see a positional change here, which has quite a big impact on the game. So they're going to change positions, the goal attack and the goal shooter. So yeah, while you see changing bibs up there. So yeah, that's Melissa.
Just let everyone know it's not normally allowed in normal netball, but this is ENG and it's the best version of netball. And quick tactical changes games, Martin.
Yep, definitely, mate.
So yeah, so that's Melissa just going into a box of tricks, just changing things up there. They're down 5 points, down 6 points now at this point actually. So Sutton Town up 4, moved up to 6, only 5 minutes and 30 left. Should be comfortable, right?
Okay.
So right, so we're going to show some. Hell, no, and we're going to show. I would say like these teams, Sutton Town and Shan. They frustrate me a little bit sometimes, just a little bit up and down. It's like I think some of the other teams, it's just the level of performance is more consistent. Like Sutton Town, when they're on, is really, really good. They maybe even look better than Watson Park at times. But when it's off, it kind of maybe goes a little bit. And then, that's why they're in their predicament they're in now, where they need a couple of things to go their way to sort of ensure they're in the top 4. So we're just going to look at Rosie's activity here. And here's an example where it's really good. And in the next few clips, so we see Rosie here. In the next few clips, we're just going to focus on what the Starz defenders do from an attacking sense of view and what the Starz attackers do from a defensive point of view. Okay, so we say when we get to netball in this level, you can't just rely on your front 4 to score, like, your center, wing attack, goal attack shooter. You might need some help from your defenders at times, especially against top quality opposition. So here we see Rosie totally on her game. So really active off the center pass and then tracking the Starz defender up, gets a tip here. But Starz do well, get the loose ball. And then, we'll just play this through. Another one. Yeah, and then big tip. They get the rebound. And eventually they score. Oh, but I just want to show one clip here, just one freeze frame. Oh. All right, which is here. Okay. Because just to show the competitiveness of this league, I just saw this freeze frame and how much it means to all the players. Right, we'll go here. Hang on, that's the next one. Next one. Right, this one here. Right, look at these 4 girls going for this rebound. Yeah. So that just shows how much this league means to all the players, right? You've got like all 2 defenders and 2 shooters literally all touching that ball simultaneously, right? And no contacts as well. Like their technique is all perfect, right? They jump up straight, but they all jump off 2 feet to get as high as possible. And so, yeah, we saw Rosie getting a tip and Starz getting the 50-50 ball earlier, and then Starz do well here to recover this ball, even though it goes off the
face.
I'm going to say she is the goal attack, but she does normally play shooter's head, and yeah, they score eventually. So if we just speed that through, and yeah, Leela nails the shot. So. Right. So again, we're going to look at focus on the activity on the center pass of just the defensive activity of the Starz shooters. So we saw Rosie in the last clip being very active and getting a tip on the ball, and then we see these Starz attackers here flying up the court. Yeah, force this one wide, no space, and a slight fumble, but it's still a lot of it's caused by the attackers forcing the ball wide, giving Sutton Town not a lot of space to room and forcing them up to the that narrow channel on the outside, which just increases the chances of something going wrong. So at this point, so it was 28-22. Sutton have now scored a couple. They're now 28-24. So Sutton Town have scored 2. Starz centre pass, and we've got a couple of nice interceptions here. So yeah, nice pick up here by the Sutton Town goalkeeper. But then a Sutton Town go through the court. Brilliant interception here. And we said during your tournament, it's always this girl at goal defence. She just always comes up with like a big interception at a key moment. So Starz is probably more of an offensively based team, but when you score that many points, you probably only need like 1 or 2 intercepts in a quarter can really swing a game for you. And yeah, it just always seems to be her in the right place at the right time. So they get it. And yeah, that's a nice feed there.
Good feed, yeah. I'll tell you what, we're some really cool highlights of good feeds this weekend.
Yeah, I did see the highlights. So yeah, and yes, there were a lot. So that was there. So we showed the activity of the Starz attackers defending, and then we'll go here as well. So Sutton Town centre pass, yeah, sprint through. And so it may not seem like much, but like this wing attack for Starz, if you look at how quickly she gets up the court, just her coming into the vision at the last minute here, it can affect you as a passer, because you think you're just going to put the ball here, but when you see sort of this wing attack just fly into the picture at the last moment, it can just disrupt you just here. And yeah, I think that's what causes the pass to be slightly off, because you see her coming in at the last minute, and then as passing it, you think you need to put a little bit extra on it. And brilliant leap. Yeah. So I definitely think the wing attack had something to do with that error. So it's not an unforced error; it was kind of a forced error. And then when we talk about defenders being involved in attacking, we look at the activity. So if we look at the Starz wing defense here, so yeah, starting in this position here. Okay, and then we'll just follow her movements throughout this possession. So gets a nice one. So takes the first one here, and then she's off. Takes the third one here. Ball goes in, and eventually, yeah, she scores. But yeah, that was a brilliant effort there. So just forward to this bit here after it goes out by the wing defense. And what I would say is that's the wing defense. Rosie's the wing attack. Rosie needs to be do a bit of a better job tracking that here. So we see the wing attack get the ball here, and when she gives it, like instead of tracking her, Rosie's kind of like pointing off for the goal attack to take her. But like in this Starz team, the wing defense is like very active offensively. She's a bigger threat than the Starz goal defense attacking wise. And I think if you look at the sort of the physicality of the players, like Rosie is a quicker player to keep up with this wing defense and keep her out of the game compared to kind of pointing and getting the goal attack to do it. Because I just don't think the Sutton Town goal attack has the speed to keep up with her. So again, excellent work here by the wing defense. Just linking the play, and we just showed that they scored. Offensive rebounds, we showed them get one here. Another one. That's a big offensive rebound. Finishes that one off. And it's all these little things, loose balls, offensive rebounds, attackers making contributions defensively, defenders making contributions in attack. It's all these little things that it was 28-22. Now I think it's 28-27. So Starz have scored like 5 in a row now, and they're really starting to get back into the game, and they're building a lot of momentum and confidence. One here. So you see, brilliant tip there by the goal attack, forces it backwards, and then they're very active. And again, same defender comes through, brilliant interception. And yeah, after a couple of...
That was actually a great little pass there.
Yeah, great little pass. And
it was quickly done, if you noticed.
Yeah. So we can
Fouls
show
quickly
that.
passed into the goal.
So yeah, she's very, very alert, and the landing as well.
I picked this up on the. It honestly, it was like, well, that's clever. That was like, well, yeah, I'll take it. Nobody's had time to really think about what they were doing.
Yeah,
but they knew exactly what they were doing.
Yeah, and that's what we showed when she was, playing against Watson Park in the final of your tournament. Like she has an incredibly quick release, right? So she'll just catch the ball, turn and fling it because she's seeing like 2 to 3 steps ahead. So, but when she passes this ball, she already knows what space she's going into.
Yeah, but it's a foul, isn't it?
And then the centre, they've got that great connection. They're on the same wavelength, so it's give, go, and a landing as well. So you want to take that shot as close to the post as possible. She has that really nice split landing here, which means Leela gets, nice and close under the post and finishes it off.
I like the way the centre walked off like it's done. If you go back, she's just like, yeah, it's done, and walks off.
And 28 all. They've got the centre pass now.
You don't like going to Sutton, do you, Hayden? You don't like going to Sutton, do you? I think that's another town you can't visit now, mate.
It's the most frustrating netball club in the country for me to watch. They have like super talented girls, but the passing, like some of them throw shoulder passes, but I just feel like, yeah. I watched them in the Nottingham tournament, and like the under 14s, right, who you spoke about previously, like way up the top of the league. And you keep on telling me not to talk about Kingsway Power. So Lily wasn't playing. They're playing Kingsway Power, 10-minute game. Half time, it's 0-0 after 5 minutes. So I'm like, right, you're Sutton Town. You've held Kingsway Power scoreless for 5 minutes. This is your time to, make them up. Second half, like Kingsway Power won, I think 4-2 over 10 minutes. So if you hold that Kingsway Power under 14s team, right, to 4 points over 10 minutes, you should win that game. And that's what the northern teams do well. If Oldham's off it, like Rivington will take advantage, as you've seen. If Berry's off it, Oldham will take advantage. But these southern teams, because they're not so explosive offensively, except maybe like your Watson Parks and your Pauls, sometimes when the northern teams aren't on their A game, they let them off the hook a little bit. Whereas I think, with the northern teams against each other, any weakness, the other team will take advantage. So, I think Sutton Town need to get a bit more ruthless when they're playing the top teams. But anyway, so it was 28 all. There was a couple of scores. And then we will now get to the final minute of the game where sort of all the action happens.
All right, just as a caution, everybody, please, if you've got any hot cups of coffee or tea, please put them down because this could get emotional.
Yeah. So 29 all, Starz shot, miss, and what a rebound this is. Like, for Leela to get this rebound, we say like in amongst the trees because, she's playing shooter, but she's a goal attack and up against the goalkeeper here who's, very strong, very dominant in the circle. To get that tip, like, that's exactly how you would do it. And then this shot as well. So, yeah, Rich, I saw you had a rebounding in your highlight reel, but not this one.
Missed. I was probably too excited, so watching it.
So what you're talking with rebounding, like for the bigger, taller, stronger girls, ideally you want them to stand on, jump off 2 feet, because if you jump off 2 feet, you'll get higher than jumping off 1 foot. But with the slighter girls, and if you look at Leela here, her body type is more of a Berry Neal type than a Helen Houseby type that you would. Helen Houseby jump off 2 feet and get the rebounds, but Berry Neal, as she's in amongst those sort of bigger, taller girls, you wanted to just find a sliver of space and just try and get up and tip it. So Leela does really well here, like fantastic getting that tip, and that's a MVP quality play here. It's a tied game. There's under a minute on the clock, and Starz have just done so well in this game, keeping the possessions open, and then her shooting partner here, bang. Right, and one other thing I notice are the parents. Every time Starz do something good, like I don't know if you can hear it, but you can hear a big shout in the back, and you'll see it if you look at the Starz parents. They're the ones at the top of the screen.
They start jumping up, don't they?
Yeah. So if you just listen and look at they all go up. Can you see them all going up?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Starz fans, they're Fair enough.
So the Stars parents are on it, like, and
Yeah.
as a player, like when you hear those screams, you hear those roars, that gives you confidence. So Sutton Town centre pass now, breaking by Rosie, but again, this was good by Rosie. You can see she's a little bit disappointed here, but then she switches on. She goes into Rosie mode, challenges that one, and then she does a great job here. The wing defence wants to give that ball into the middle, which will open it up. Big arms by the goal attack. Great tracking by Rosie. Forces it down the line. Okay, now they're kind of trapped on the side of the court. And what an interception that is. Like, brilliant. Yeah, so it was looking bad. Stars had the opportunity to go up to with 30 seconds left and end the game. Fantastic. But one thing I noticed with that one, Martin, no roar from the parents. Very quiet. So, like the Sutton Town parents, they've got to, you know, if this was me in a netball game and I'm playing goalkeeper, like you see from the goalkeeper here, the goalkeeper doesn't move. Like, Richard, you're always the one that says celebrate, right? It's an important thing, yeah? So, yeah, if my goal defense, even if I'm down 1 with 30 seconds to go, if my goal defense makes a play like that, me as a goalkeeper, I'm going to be up and screaming. Me as a Sutton Town parent, I'm going to be up and screaming. I'm thinking, right, we've got the ball now. We go and score 30 seconds. It could be a tie. If we win the ball again, we have an opportunity to win. But it just seemed like the pressure was getting to Sutton Town a little bit. And this is a moment they should really enjoy. Even though they haven't scored yet, this is an opportunity for them to, you know, get the draw and get back in the game. And then they do really well here. Good pressure from Stars. But Sutton Town breakthrough. Brilliant feeds, and the shooter was on it all game. And they score. But then if you look at the Sutton Town parents, not much reaction. So I've got a little clip here of both sets of parents, sort of zoomed in a little bit.
Martin, he's really doing his best here to get banned from the Midlands, isn't he?
Yeah, mate, he's done it already. I don't know what you're talking about.
What do you mean? Why am I getting banned from the Midlands for?
Mate, Haley's going to have you, mate.
Hey, I won't be surprised if Hayley says, "Give me his number. I'm calling him now."
Oh, mate, she's already got him tracked. She's on her way.
Okay, right. So
with like 7 black Land Rovers, mate, just shooting down the motorway.
So, well, you say I very rarely criticise the players, but I've got to go after the parents on this one. So we've got split screen here. So we've got Sutton Town parents on the left hand side, and we've got the Stars parents on the right hand side. So after both teams scored, so look at one on the right, raptures, and then look at the left. It's like nothing happened. Yeah.
Oh,
see the difference?
Right. So you're now picking on the fans there, Hayden. So, right.
It's a big deal. It's important. Richard is the main person that says celebrate.
You know, we don't supply security for you, mate. You know, Deborah can only do so much.
If your daughters are doing amazing things in a netball game, like scoring to tie it up with 10 seconds to go and getting like big interceptions with 30 seconds to go, like get off your feet and cheer. Like that's what gives them the confidence to go make the next one and the next one.
Again, fair enough. Fair enough.
Yeah. So it's tied up now. 13 seconds to go.
13 seconds.
Before
we'll have a new song created. You know what I mean? 13 seconds to go.
A big thing we said was what were the Stars attackers doing defensively, and what were the Stars defenders doing in attack? So centre pass here, and then we're just going to focus on the wing defence. We see her on the right hand side of the screen with Rosie. So goal attack gets it, and Sutton Town defenders do a really good job. So you know they take away the shooter. Double team here on the wing attack, so she can't really get the ball. Shooter's marked slightly off screen, but who's the player that gets open? Little wing defence, and you just see her come in here.
To that last second of the goal going in.
Okay, the goal going in, yeah?
Yeah, look. Great play. Yeah. You can't blame anybody. Stars were just amazing in that last 13 seconds, without a doubt. Look how they just again, whether it's pressure or whatever, it doesn't matter, but they're exceptional in that last 13 seconds.
Excellent. And one thing I'll say about the two-handed pass as well, compared to the shoulder pass, if you look at the wing defense here, there's 6 seconds to go. She actually doesn't release it. She actually goes to throw it, realizes, I think she sees the goalkeeper coming through at the top. So if you look at the screen, the goalkeeper could potentially come in and drive out. So she just double clutches, And that's one advantage of the overhead, because you have two hands on the ball. If you go to throw it, you can stop and then throw it again. Whereas with the one-hander, when you go to release it, you can't really like re-grip
Oh,
it.
yeah, I get you.
Yeah, so that's great. That's great poise there with 6 seconds to go to throw, bring it back.
Down, Haley, to be fair.
Yeah, stop and throw again. And then this motion, it's all one motion. Split, she just catches and release, bang. Wow.
And Richard, you are calling out. You can hear you calling out the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So it's great composure, just amazing. Like you can see him celebrated as well, and the parents, look at them. What
celebration?
How great was that? Again,
but what I'm saying with Sutton Town is it's a little bit on and off. Whereas in this last quarter, the attacking work, especially from that wing defense for Starz, it was consistent throughout the whole quarter. And the defensive work from the goal attack and the wing attack was consistent throughout the whole quarter. What I saw from Sutton Town was sometimes it was excellent, but then sometimes it was off a little bit. So what I want to see from Sutton Town is I want to see that excellence on defense, especially from goal attack and wing attack on every play. And because at this level, if you're just off it a little bit for 1 or 2 plays, you can see just giving that wing defense that little bit of space there, that was the difference in the game. So these teams, it comes down to those very fine margins.
How he does agree.
Let's it's time's getting on. Let's leave it there. Thanks for the input, and big weekend ahead, everyone. So that's a great game, and let's look forward to a lovely weekend. But it's cup of tea time now, and thank you everyone for your time, and we will catch up very soon.
Don't forget to subscribe, everybody, as well. Thank you, Hayden. Thank you, Richard, as well.
Take care.
In a bit.
See you later. Bye-bye.